Okay, check 1 2 1 2. All right, let's make sure we're on the air. Make sure you guys can hear me okay. We'll take a few minutes here. We'll get settled in. This is what we do all the time. Make sure we should be streaming to Facebook, Rumble, and YouTube. I do not have your comments on the screen, but I can see them perfectly fine from every platform. Okay. Yes, you hear me. That's good. Excellent. Audio sounds okay. I look beautiful. I like lying to myself sometimes. All right. Yep, loud and clear. Everything is good. Okay, welcome to the show. If you're new here, welcome aboard. You know what? Something just dawned on me, just popped into my mind. I'm going to talk about what recently went on with my Facebook page. We could talk about that now. And the reason we'll do that, because I take a few minutes if you're new, and we get settled in here. Let people get on and get situated. You could watch me on your device. You could watch me on your computer, whatever that may be, desktop, your phone, or you can watch me in the comfort of your living room. If you have you can use the YouTube app or the Rumble app on your smart TV. You can listen to me in your car. You don't even have to watch me. So, all right. Hey guys, how are you? Anna, Sandra, all my wonderful followers, my wonderful people who follow me, incredible friends, patriots. Look, I'll tell you what. You missed my crack. Somebody says they missed my crackling fireplace. I haven't had time. We had a power outage, and when it went out, I never had time to look at it to see if it's a fuse or something. Real quick, so you're probably noticing, I want to give a shout out here to Andrew Cowers, who went out of his way. There are a lot of patriots who they send me things. And till this day, I don't understand why. And I don't mean no disrespect. I'm amazed every single day at the appreciation, the support, and the love that I get. I try not to ever question that. I just say, God, I am on this road. You have me on it. I'm not going to question it. And I'm just going to enjoy it. But as you see, I have a shirt on. And I got another one, too. There's a hair on my microphone. I got to get a haircut. All right, and then I get another one too, with our logo, our tagline, "Feed your mind, not the narrative." So thank you, Andrew, very much for sending me that. It's wonderful. I appreciate that. Let's see. So in the comments right now, Tamara says, my 5-year-old granddaughter loved your book. She's carrying it everywhere. Okay. So the last time I was on the air, it was a pre-recorded message, and it was the introduction and the announcement to that I am now a children's book author, and the announcement for the book Think Brave. So far, I haven't. I posted the book a few times. I haven't had time to really push it. We'll get there, and just things are crazy busy on my end. But at the same time, there were many people who did buy the book, and I am still, like I said before, I am floored when people show me the love and support that they do. I'm still living in a whirlwind. That book made it out there, and it's our first piece of intellectual property for Mindfix Entertainment, and it couldn't have gone off any better, because I believe that particular book was divine intervention. I had no plans to ever write a children's book. It's never crossed my mind, and I just appreciate everybody's support who's already purchased the book. An animation will be coming out soon here next month on the Mindfix Kids YouTube channel. Thank you. Everybody's saying they're loving the book. I just am so humbled by it. And it's a good transition tonight, because we're going to talk about AI. Okay. But before we get into all that, hopefully you guys are going to have your questions ready. Just a kind of a little precursor to the show, or a little message. Before we go any further, and we do get into the AI, I just want you to know I am by far no expert. I don't think anybody is, to be honest with you. Even the people who are the big tech heads, like the Elon Musks of the world, still have no idea. And that's the truth. I can only share my experience with AI and my research with AI. We're going to get into all that. I'm going to throw a few things out there that I believe are important to discuss. I do not think that people are using AI the way it's intended to be used. People are treating it like a Google search engine. That's crazy. People are treating it to research stuff and look stuff up, and don't do that. And we'll get into that in a minute. So before I go off on that. So recently, real quick, while we're waiting, if you're just joining, I really appreciate everybody who's tuning in. How we doing out there? Let me check and see the, again, if you're new, welcome. Welcome aboard. Appreciate you. I do have a main Facebook page, and that main Facebook page you're on right now. So a few days ago, I said, I'm going to flip over. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. This is very, very informative. There's a lot of lies out there in internet land. Go figure. I'll be honest with you. I don't believe that Facebook is anywhere near censoring people like they used to. I see people out there, when I open up my Facebook feed, and one of the first things that pops up is people are complaining they're being censored and stuff. There's maybe to some extent, okay, and what just happened with me and my other page was taken down, I wasn't censored in that way. So I need to tell the truth. Now, one thing about when you come to my pages, I push the truth. I'm very transparent, even about my personal life. I believe in being an example, not being ashamed of my past, overcoming the things I did, and also with the transparency in reporting the truth. It's so important. Just the other day, I had, do you know how I post, when I say, I think just the other day, what was it, Sunday or Saturday, over the weekend, I said I'm going to step away for a while because I need to, I just need to take a little break. Okay. And but I said I'll jump back in if there's any major breaking news. Somebody made a smart comment in my comments, and this crazy Karen said, "Why do you post all the time and telling us what you're going to do?" Well, I'm going to tell you exactly why I do that. Because one, I believe in being accountable. I believe in being transparent as well, like I just mentioned. And most importantly, there has been no accountability with the mainstream media in like forever. And now that independent journalists, reporters, news reporters are out here in the world, I think the number one thing they need to do is not only be truthful, they need to be accountable. They need to be held accountable. And when I post things like that, it's for accountability. Is that a little high, my voice? I apologize for that. And I think the microphone was a little close there. I apologize. So, and I do that often. I've always done that. And that's just to let everybody know that I take a lot of responsibility in what I do. And this is just not about me. Just because you come to my page, it's this community that has been built. And I'd be talking to dead air right now. Okay? I'd be having dreams of, okay, I wrote a book. Nobody's buying it. It's not making a difference in the world. But it's all because of you. And this is why I've said it many times over the years. Hold me accountable. I'm all for that. And that's what I do in my personal life as well. I think it's very important for everybody in life. And before I go down to life lessons, I know we're going to talk about AI. And I'll get off my little tangent here. But I think everybody should have somebody in their life that holds them accountable. Because that's something that builds character. And it keeps you on the right path. So anyways, real quick about that censorship. So I had the Facebook page you're on now, I've had just over a year. Now I jumped to the other one, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. So you understand. And I'm going to make a reference to something for everybody out there in Facebook land who follows these obscure, or they pop up in your news feed, these obscure pages that are titled whatever, and it could be roping you in with something to do with the politics and the party that you're in. Because there's this thing called an algorithm that knows what you're clicking, what you're talking about, what you're liking, what you're sharing. And when you get these obscure pages out there, like whatever they're titled, and they have hundreds of comments, okay? Hundreds of comments. Just because I have hundreds of comments doesn't mean it's legit. There are so many people out there right now who are sitting behind a computer. You have no idea who they are, but they probably have several Facebook pages with these sites to lure you in. And I'll tell you how I know this. Because when I switched over, and here's why I switched over, currently on the Facebook page that you're on now, all right, I have restrictions. I don't have restrictions. I have these past strikes or whatever you call them. I have 6 of them. And I've been a good boy for quite a while now. All right. Let me explain. Hold off before you start passing judgment in the comments. So I've been a good boy, but I can't seem to get out of these certain red areas that have my profile status at high risk. And I know what's happening with Meta. I know all about it. I know all about Facebook. And last year, April, and then towards the beginning of 2026, everything changed. Okay? I will give props to Meta for this. Okay? They are paying people. And it's pretty decent right now. And I can tell you this. I haven't received one dime because I'm in the restricted zone. That's exactly why I jumped over to the other Facebook page, because I thought, well, screw that. I can't get out of those. I'm going to go to a different page. It's not so easy because not only did I need another blue check mark, I needed to give them my ID and information and prove that I am who I am. I'm okay with that. And it cross references, and they automatically see I had another page of I was the authentic Bruce Snyder, if you will. And that's what made me lose that page. So there's no getting out of this. I'd be making thousands of dollars easily a month, depending on how hard I work. I can easily make a few $1,000s a month just on Facebook alone. I can't do that because where I'm stuck at, stuck in this matrix echo chamber, and I can't get out of it. And that's why I went over there, because I'll be honest with you, I'm like, as hard as I work, I deserve to get paid for what I do. So I tried it, but unfortunately, they still have me handcuffed. So I'm missing out on that opportunity. So I was not censored in any way, shape, or form. It's just a matter of their algorithm not wanting duplicate people out there or people impersonating, etc. So that was the whole thing with the other page. I can tell you from experience, they're not censoring at all in the way that they used to do. If they were, I wouldn't be streaming live to Facebook right now. So that's the one thing. All right. So let's get into, and again, I can see your comments. Keep the comments coming for sure. Let me go over to Facebook real quick. All right. So I'm going to touch on Iran real quick. And we're going to go ahead. I see a comment already. How do you see the end of this war? Do you think the Iranian people are able to get their freedom? So I've been thinking about this. I have used the words, and I'm only talking about myself over the years. I have used the term, a new world awaits. I still believe that to be true. I believe it more than ever to be true. These things had to be done first. And this has to do with AI as well. I'm convinced of it because it's a perfect show tonight to talk about Iran. What does that have to do with AI? Because if we don't get the bad actors in check and secure this globe, we're in big, big trouble. We face a danger. In the first half of this show, I'm going to get it out of the way. Okay, the first part in a few minutes when we start talking about AI, I'm going to talk about the possibilities, the dangers of it. So you come here for truth, and I'm going to be honest with you. And there definitely are major concerns. There's no question about that. But there's also a lot of good. All right. So, again, welcome everybody if you're just tuning in. I see your comments live in the live stream there. As far as Iran goes, I believe a new world does await. If you look at the posts I put out today, I've also shared some of Clandestine's post as well. Him and I, for some reason, we're in like perfect sync. It's really bizarre. But it's like I have this alter ego brother or something. I don't even know who this person is. But we're always in alignment, our takes. But I think a lot is happening right now. And you saw the last one I posted. It was a screenshot of Clandestines and talking about Obama and what Trump has posted over the past. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'll take a quick look at it. And he's talked about, what was it? So I'll read it real quick. It says, for those who say that military tribunals will never happen and Trump will never go after Obama, this was Trump's idea, not mine. And there are a screenshot of Trump showing Obama and military tribunals images. It looks like that image, it looks old school, could have been from the real ones. And it says all roads lead to Obama. And it's possible, and we're talking about treason. I purposely today, because it just felt right, I purposely today shared the scene from Sum of All Fears. I highly suggest everybody watch that movie. Now, it's not exactly in sync, but it's pretty much the main idea. It's so crazy right now and mind-blowing because of the 11 missing or deceased scientists. Okay, in the movie, there are 3 Russian scientists who go MIA, and they end up getting killed because they created a nuclear bomb for the deep state. It's so in alignment right now. It's very bizarre. And you have many parallels coming from that movie. And I posted this scene about Made in the USA. Now, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. But basically that scene is after a nuclear bomb is detonated on U.S. soil. It was a dirty nuke, obviously, dirty bomb nuke. And it was transported here and put into a vending machine by the football stadium in Baltimore. And it goes off, and this was the deep state pitting Russia, and this is very important, pitting Russia and the United States against each other. As a matter of fact, and there's a scene in it, I can remember clearly, where the guy who was deep state, I think of Nazis and I think of NATO in this character scene, and it's so real. And he says something like Hitler was foolish or was stupid. Hitler was a stupid man because he decided to fight Russia in World War II, decided to fight Russia and the United States, take on Russia and the United States. He goes, that's foolish. You don't do that. You make the United States, the smart thing to do is make the United States and Russia fight each other. So when I think about that scene, think about over the past years, how when President Trump never talks bad about Putin, okay? And they go ape crazy, you know what I mean? Ape crap crazy on the mainstream media, because if Trump doesn't denounce Putin, he must be a Russian Putin lover or a Russian asset, and Russia. You know the game, and that's going to come back. We're coming back. Everything's coming back full circle. He's already talking, okay? He's already talking about the rigged election. I have said it 100 times, many times, at least 100, okay? During Biden's presidency, I said, stop buying. And I'm talking 2022, 2023. I said, stop buying into this Brunson case, the Supreme Court. This is not getting overturned. And it didn't. I said, stop listening to these people who think it's getting overturned, like they know everything or got inside sources. I said, that's just BS. And it doesn't take a lot to figure that out. And I'm like, I knew back then, I'm like, President Trump has to get back in. We'll address that later because it makes complete sense that we take care. Because I firmly believe we have to address that. We have to right that wrong. We have to fix our elections. And we're seeing it right now. Look at his wording. He's talking about it a lot. He's talking about nuclear a lot of nuclear. Now, I will say this. I'm going to shock a lot of people right now. Okay? I'm only giving my opinion before I say what I want to say. And I think we took care of, during Operation Midnight Hammer, when we went after those nuclear sites, I think we pretty much took care of business then. Yes, it's true there's nuclear dust. And that's, again, we're talking about Obama. All right, HRC, that administration. And what I'm about to say is, don't freak out. This is just my opinion. I think the threat is being overblown. Okay? About Iran having a bomb. Now, I'm not saying that's not true. Absolutely, 100%, Iran has been trying to enrich uranium and get that bomb. That is true. So it's not a fairy tale. But I think President Trump is kind of overdoing it a little bit to justify for the sleeping people who don't put two and two together, who can't see what's going on the world stage, and pretty much talking about the other side over there. And this is the main thing. It's like, okay, basically he's saying, stupid people, I got to say this and make it extreme. And it is. But in actuality, it's much bigger than that. It's about us I've always said we've needed to get into Iran years ago. And we have to overthrow that government. We have to have regime change. We have to give power back to the people. So it's mind-boggling to me lately, not mind-boggling, but a little concerning, because every time he's like pulling back and then we're going to go back to the table, I'm human too, and I can react. I'm like, what are you doing, Trump? I'm being honest. I'm like, come on now. I'm like, you and I know right now that the IRGC is not going to listen at all. No matter what. You can have all the talks you want tomorrow, JD Vance and the rest of the crew, Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff, all the talks you want tomorrow. But I'm going to tell you like it is. It's all bullshit. These people, now whoever they're talking to right now, whoever these leaders that are left are, I know some of the names, but I don't know. Okay, until the IRGC sits at the table with them, which they won't, okay, nothing's going to get solved. And if Trump thinks for 1 second, and I love the guy, for 1 second that a piece of paper and their word is going to change things and secure the region and the world, well, then I'll start saying he's got dementia. We need the 25th Amendment. And I know that's not true. It's just that I believe what he's doing is a couple of things, a few things, if you will. One is everything that Q said in the beginning. You can't tell anybody. You have to show them. And he's showing them. He's showing them going to the table. He's showing the United States willing to work and make peace time and time again. Well, that's going to run out and probably run out tomorrow night by 8 p.m. So what's going to happen? I can't tell you what's going to happen. It's easy to say and get emotionally triggered and say, let's just bomb the hell out of them. But there's a strategic plan. And I think somebody asked me in the comments, I see your comments right in front of me. The strategic plan has to be those people. President Trump did say, yes, exposure as well. President Trump did say that help is on the way. In the drops, it says about Iran, to the Iranian people, fight, fight, fight. I haven't seen their window yet of opportunity. In the beginning, they did, prior to the war, pre-war or pre-military operation, whatever word you want to use is fine. It was terrible. They did rise up. It was wonderful to see, but thousands and thousands were slaughtered and killed and jailed. This is why they're not exactly fighting back right now, because it's not safe enough yet. And I would hate to leave those people hanging with a piece of paper that is going to be signed in Pakistan, all right, that says, oh, we promise we'll do A, B, C, D, and E, and we won't do this anymore. Okay, great, thanks. This has been going on my whole life, the majority of my life. We can go back before 1979, but let's go. It's 1979 and after, once the Ayatollah took power, after the Shah. So this has been, and I've said it many times, this is Deep State Central 101. It's ground zero for the deep state when it comes to Iran. They have their tentacles in Iran. Why do you think just today, President Trump, and I'm not going to read that long post, you can go to my platforms and read it, he just talked about Obama today. He's talking about Obama a lot, about the cash that was flown out to Iran. Okay? We are seeing exposure right now. There is a very sophisticated plan, even though when some things happen in between, which I just explained, I can react like, what are you doing? But then I sit back and think about it. I'm like, okay, it has to be this way. This is exposure. We're showing the world, for the people who don't know what the hell is going on the other side, we're going to say, well, it's a nuclear threat. And it always has been, no question about it. But I don't know if they're really that close to enriching uranium at this point after Operation Midnight Hammer. We're just going in to finish the job. This world must become a safe place. And in order to do that, we have to eliminate the IRGC. We have to eliminate that regime. We have to get power back to the people, bring it back to however they want it, pre-Iran, back to Persia, whatever. That's on them. More Western. I get it, and they should. They've been living under dictatorship and violence for decades, almost my entire life. And I think that's the deep state's. Trump knows this. He knows this is where the deep state is. They have their claws in. Boy, do I talk about this on the air. Because it just crossed my mind. I talk about things behind the scenes that I will never talk about on the air or on my platforms. But I'll say this. Don't be too shocked if an event happens, okay? Because look at all the parallels that I've drawn from that movie. If an event happens to where it becomes almost a situation where it is a real scare event. Now, I don't believe that has happened yet. Yeah, go watch Sum of All Fears. Don't do that tonight. Because I'm telling you, it's unfolding in that movie. Why do you think President Trump has played Nessun Dorma from Pavarotti all the time? Why do you think he had, who I interviewed, and if you haven't seen the interview, I interviewed Christopher Macchio, and that's on my YouTube and Rumble. And the main reason I wanted to interview him, because Renee, my friend Renee was helping me at the time. She locked up that interview. And I said, the reason I want to interview him is I interviewed him about his career and everything, but about that song. And I knew that song had a lot of meaning. He just wasn't playing it over and over again. I knew a moment in time would come. And I've always connected that to the Scare event. And I've done Scare event podcasts in the past. And I said the Scare event, back then it was different because it's like, Iran wasn't in the picture. And I said, okay, maybe it's a nuclear standoff, like a Cuban Missile Crisis 2.0 on steroids with Russia. And we have to have an event and a moment that scares the living daylights out of everybody on planet Earth. And then we put our petty differences aside and we're just glad to be alive. And at the end of the day. And I still believe that would be a wonderful thing to have. Okay. Now, I'm not going to get into martial law and the EBS and all that. I appreciate your question. Okay. I don't know what's going to happen. Okay. But at the same time, again, like I said, I won't be surprised if I wake up in the coming days and find out there's major breaking news and maybe a bomb went off. That's all I'm going to say. It's not going to shock me. As a matter of fact, it'll probably confirm a lot to me. I'm not wishing that upon anybody. Whether here, whether over there, I don't know. And the reason I say that right now is because the deep state's back is against the wall. Iran is pretty much going to be it. Everything that President Trump is doing right now, he took the first year, okay? What did he do? He made economic alliances, investments, and also with Saudi Arabia and with what else? AI. Lots of AI. All right. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. And I know I've gone on for half an hour now. I said I wanted to talk about Iran first, so I don't want to go too much longer. But he did all that in the first year. It was around New Year's Eve when I remember my post clearly. I don't know exactly what I said, but I said something to the effect. I said something better kick off here at the very beginning of 2026. All right. Because I'm like, it only makes sense that something big has to start happening because we're in 2026. We're headed to the primaries, but the midterms. Okay. Yes. John Solomon, Cash Patel are saying big things are coming this week. Arrests are coming, folks. There's no question about that. That's why they talked about suicide weekend. It's just that you've been waiting for so long, many people have lost hope. But if you're paying attention right now, very exciting time to be alive. Very exciting time. So again, like I was just saying, like that. Someone just said, I don't know who it was. I apologize. Let me go back there. Yeah, so they're talking about big things are coming. Again, I think if we have an Armageddon moment, I've always said that could be good. And I've been doing this for a long time, and now it makes sense with Iran. And now here we are. So now I'm able to put more pieces of the puzzle together. I do believe that I hope they arm the Iranian people to fight back. Because President Trump has talked about how firearms were sent, but the Kurds stole them or so. I don't know. Whatever that was. But he already indicated that he was willing to do that. So I can see that happening again. But it depends on what's going to happen here in the coming hours. I think big things are about to happen again. I don't know if put it this way, folks. If something happens tonight or tomorrow, probably tomorrow, and Trump puts out a post on Truth Social and says, we have a deal, we have an agreement, that will be the last straw one. And he may do that, but you and I both know it's not going to last. It's going to be broken in hours. But by the talks right now, it looks like war is going to happen again very soon. And this will be the final one. This will have to be the last one. Whatever strategic plan that our men and women in the military have, our leaders, Pete Hegseth, all of them, they know what they're doing, and I have full confidence in them. I voted for all this, okay? I voted for all this. I have no sensitive feelings. I don't care what people say, all right? I'm not voting for war at all. I'm not a warmonger. I don't want war. I'm not a fool. And I know you feel the same way. But at the same time, some things like this have to happen. Okay? So that's where we are with Iran right now. So I want to shift because that's not what the show's about tonight. I just wanted to speak on it. And we'll see tomorrow. But here's what I do know. I'm here with you. I'm going to be with you every step of the way. I think this is a big, big deal. And I think this aligns with the future. President Trump talks about the golden age of America. I see that happening. We just don't feel it yet. I know there are people out there who always, in my comments, it always seems to be about money and all that. And I know it hurts, and I'm not pointing fingers. I'm the same way. I go to the gas pump. Ouch, that hurts. The grocery store kills me. One thing I did go to the grocery store a little while ago, and eggs were 95 cents. Eggs were 95 cents. That was crazy. I almost took a picture, was going to post it. So, yeah, things are changing, but, and it does hurt, but the golden age of America is upon us. Trump must do those things. Oh, and I know what I was saying. I said that something had to give come 2026 because the midterms are coming. And then on January 3rd, boom, the news broke about us going in to arrest, capture, and bring Maduro back from Venezuela. And ever since January 3rd, that has been nonstop. We have been going nonstop. And here we are tonight. We're using words like nuclear, okay, regime change, all this. And this is deep stuff. And if you really want the truth, this is everything we were told about. We were told about this from the beginning. And many of you posted those things. I go back to 2018, 2019, and 2020. You kept posting, nothing could stop what is coming. We talked about Iran. We talked about Russia. We talked about all these scenarios. But now we're approaching the end, and we lost a lot of you on the way because you ran out of gas. You ran out of faith. And I get it. Believe me. I'm not picking on you one bit. Totally respect it as well. It's difficult. This is extremely difficult. As somebody said to me in 2018, when I was about to start reporting the news again, or pretty much for the first time on social media and going full force at it, but it's going to take about 8 to 10 years before we see results, I'd be like, are you kidding me? So it's best I didn't tell us, So, but here we are. Very exciting time. I'm not saying it's exciting for war. I'm excited about regime change. Okay. I'm excited about getting rid of the deep state. What do you think he's been doing? Why do you think he's made these economic alliances with everybody in the Middle East, especially? Because why? Because NATO is full of crap. NATO has shown their true colors on the world stage. I feel sorry for my friends over there across the pond in the EU, because it's got to be a living hell over there. Everything that they're doing and not doing. And now their backs are up against the wall. So everything is happening. And Greenland's going to be in the conversation shortly soon. Cuba, again, it's already in the conversation. I haven't even reported on Cuba today. But hang in there until the end. Again, I'll go back to what I said years ago. A new world awaits, and it's happening. And part of that new world, believe it or not, is AI. That is why Donald Trump had so many meetings and so many investors into AI, because there's no question about it. This is like a nuclear arms race. I was a kid during the Cold War. I was doing duck and cover drills underneath a desk in grade school. Okay, so I know what that time was like. And so do probably most of you who are watching this right now. And that's what AI is like. Now, so we're going to shift right now. And I'm going to say some things in the very beginning here. I'm going to monitor your comments as I'm looking at them right now. Okay, and even though they're not on the screen, I'm going to talk about this. So in the comments right now, before I get into it, okay? Yes, Australia's in a big mess too. I love you guys. I love all of you, and I'm not just saying that and blowing smoke. I adore all of you. I do. Especially the people who are also across the pond in Australia. I have so many people who follow me, and it's such a blessing. And my heart really breaks. It's like, but hold on, though. I have a friend in Germany, and when I talk to her, she's petrified. You know, she's raising kids over there and stuff, and she's petrified because of everything that's going on and with NATO. And she listens to President Trump. She sees what's going on. She sees NATO's full of it. A lot of people are quite concerned, and rightfully so. So anyways, let's shift to AI now. So as I'm talking, if you want to comment, go ahead and comment. Before you ask questions, don't ask questions now, because I'm not going to get to them at this point, okay? Share this to your Facebook page. Oh, thank you. Yeah, if you want to share it to your page, you want to share this live stream to your page, please feel free to do so. Somebody said, we're your MindFix TV minions. MindFix minions, huh? No, I don't want to call you minions, but the minions are a good thing. I like the minions. You might be onto something, Andrew. And Andrew's the one who made me this shirt. God bless you. All right, so AI. First of all, you can go ahead and comment in the comments. Let me know if you're using it. Let me know your experience, etc. But don't ask any questions yet. We'll get to that shortly. While you're doing that, I'm going to talk about my experience. I've been using AI for quite some time, okay? Definitely for the last year strong, all right? I am very involved with, I pay for a lot of platforms, okay? And I've always paid for platforms, but AI, the explosion of AI, now that it's public, okay, I can tell you this, and I will say this, and I will stand by this, and this isn't a guess. I know this to be, but the world is never going to be the same again, and that is not a bad thing, okay? Before I get into the fearful part, which I'm going to cover, MindFix minions. You guys, something was born tonight. My MindFix minions. That's so cool. I like that. Andrew, do me a favor. Message me that, because I'll forget about it. I have so much on my plate. I forget these little things. Message me that in my Facebook Messenger to remind me. If you guys like that, we'll do that. As long as you don't take offense to it. God, I love you guys. But I use AI a lot, and here's what I do know, okay? Let me talk to you about a creator, okay? So you understand. This will make a lot of sense to you as I transition into this. and we're going to talk about. I'm going to take your questions. As a creator, since a kid, since you see that poster behind me, Jaws, it's there for a reason. And that movie changed my life. And it was that moment. I was in the movie theater when it came out as a young boy. And it was then that I said, I want to do films. I want to make films. Living in Ohio, where I am, I had dreams of going to well, it's different today, but back then I had dreams of going to California. I've always thought about, well, at least if I could become a cinematographer, I'd love camera work. That was my dream. But I couldn't afford film school. I wanted to go to Full Sail down in Florida. I thought of NYU film school, but it just didn't pan out. And it was about that time, which I'm very transparent, drugs entered my life, and that screwed things up for me. But anyways, going back, I did go to school here, and I took broadcast television production, and I learned all about news and control rooms, news, out in the field, the whole nine. That's why I do what I do today. I never wanted to be on the air whatsoever. I've always said I'm uncomfortable doing this. I never wanted to be a face. I love behind the scenes. Okay, but here I am. So God had other plans. If you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. So the creative standpoint, we've always played around with short film, okay? And it's not cheap. And then the video camera came along. It's like, okay, we can do this. But then I remember spending a lot of money with my cousin back then, investing in the double-deck VCRs and more top of the line for editing purposes and all that. And we did all that, but it was still expensive, all right? But right now with AI, it's like a dream come true. And I'll get into that in a moment. And what I mean by that is Hollywood is in big trouble. Okay. The world is going to change in so many aspects. Okay. So let me explain this to you. For example, if Elon Musk was working on a breakthrough in rocket technology, that would change the rocket technology space, okay? If medical science found a cure for a new disease, that would be big news in changing in the medical field, okay? Or whether it was any other field, and in that particular field, that would make a big difference in that field. And that keeps it in a box, if you will. With AI, when something happens with AI, it changes absolutely everything joined together across the board. Maybe that's a little confusing to you right now. Maybe that I didn't explain it the best way, but I'm trying to right now because we are in the infancy stage, at least for the public, of AI. I use it. I'm using ChatGPT. I'm using Grok. I'm using Claude. I'm using all of those, okay? And just recently, just today, okay, just today, I posted about Amazon with a $25 billion investment in Claude, Anthropic AI. Before I came on the air, I had no idea, okay? I had no idea Elon Musk and Grok upgraded to 4.3. Now, I know this because I'm allowed to use 4.3 Grok because I have Super Grok. I pay for that, all right? And we get the beta versions of the new ones. Reason I'm telling you this, I'm going to explain to you and paint a picture. Every day I'm on the phone, almost every day, I'm talking to my cousin, my partner, if you will, all right? And we are talking AI often when it comes to the creative field, if you will. And we're so giddy right now about the tools that are available to us for storytelling. And that's another thing too. They can put all the tools out there and give us the greatest tools and the greatest images, which they are, and they're rapidly evolving quickly. But that doesn't matter, because if you're not a good storyteller, how many movies have you seen where it was garbage, but the effects were good, or the images were good, but the story was garbage? I said that. I said, I don't care how good the tools get. If you are not a good storyteller, you're not going to succeed. All right. This is just me and my personal, okay, involvement with AI. And I'm in the creative field. And you guys haven't seen any of that creativity yet. Maybe the book, the kid's book, but you haven't seen my creativity yet. You've only seen the news, in which I feel confident that I'm decent at as a one-man band in that department. But with AI, I'll say this, it's going to change the world. It's changing the world right now forever. I will give you my opinion, my strong opinion. We can easily agree to disagree, okay? I am well aware how terrified many people are. This go back forever. When something new was invented, people get terrified. They get scared. Now, granted, I'll give you this. This particular one is probably the biggest thing to ever be created by man. And right now, it has a mind of its own. And I'm going to show you a clip here in a minute. It's going to blow your mind when it comes to what is truly going on with AI. Okay? I love AI. Absolutely love it. I am so much on this train of what is happening. I am seeing, okay, how good it's helping. How am I using it? I'm mostly using it for business when it comes to MindFix Entertainment, MindFix TV. I write most of my stuff. And what I mean by that is I still write my devotionals. All those, that's me. That's my heart. That's my experience. But I do give it to AI and I say, just craft this a little bit, tweak it. But all that's authentic for me. I don't believe I believe there's a danger in getting lazy and complacent, if you will. Okay. There's a way to get lazy and complacent. And I said that, and I told the little team that I have over here, I said, one major thing, I have a major rule. Don't become dependent on AI. And what I mean is get lazy and let it do everything for you. Keep your creative juices in the game. All right. I'm very careful about that. I know the road. And here's the thing about AI right now, today, as of April 20th, 2026, it does put out good stuff. But me personally, like if I literally gave it, I said, write me a devotional for tonight and gave it no idea, it probably would be decent. But in my opinion, it would be AI slop still. Okay. That's why I write my stuff. And I've done some of our articles and my cousin we do some articles together for the Substack. We do our research. We give it all to AI and we say, this is how we want it. And then AI puts it in Substack format for us. That's a beautiful tool as well. Okay. A lot of people right now, here's one thing that I think that's ruining people's perception of AI right now is the content that is out there. Okay. I think it's terrible. I think the timing's terrible. People who are putting out these AI slop, I call them slop videos, online, and there's AI images, and we're getting good at seeing, people are figuring out what's AI and what's not. But I don't think people truly understand what is at your fingertips. This is the most powerful thing I've seen ever, is changing the course of this planet. What we're walking into right now. And remember, I'm telling you this, and I'm not saying this for you to say Bruce is right. I'm just giving you a fair warning. Okay. As far as the fear goes, I think it's being overblown, but there are legitimate fears and there will be things that go wrong. I guarantee you that, because this is the early stages. All right. I've always said, use AI, don't let it use you. You can easily sit back and say, well, I'm not using it. Well, that's fine. You don't have to. But here's the problem. Okay. AI is going to be used in every facet of your life. All right. Every area of your life, whether it's your banking, your grocery shopping, the gas pump, it's all changing very, very fast. And I'm not talking 10 years down the road. I'm talking this decade. within the next 3 years, I've said 3 to 5, but I think in the next 3 years, this world, this planet is going to be night and day compared to the way it is right now tonight. We can only take educated guesses at this point because we're on this train very, very, very early of what is going to happen. I'll get into what I think it's going to do, but let's talk about, and I have a couple notes here planned. Let me see if I can find that. There we go. All right. So let's talk about the concerns first, okay? All right. So I'm going to move your comments over here. I'm going to multitask, and I'm going to bring this back up. Okay. So now I got your comments. Let's talk together. All right. Bottom line, AI is here. It is not going anywhere. You can protest it all you want. You can go out there and march about the data centers and everything. And I get it. I'm with you. I totally understand the great concern about that. Great concern. But from my research and my experience in paying attention every day to these major companies and also paying attention to the rapid, when I'm talking to my cousin every day, it's like, we'll talk. I said, Len, let's talk about this, but I guarantee you within 90 days, all of this is going to be irrelevant. That's how quick it's going to change. And that's what's been happening to us. So number one, probably concern with AI is jobs and job displacement. It's happening now. It's going to continue to happen, and it's going to happen at a very rapid pace. It's here. I'll tell you what I've already done. My son is in a customer service job. I told him, start looking for different ways because you're going to be replaced. I know a lot of people in the medical field. Okay. I know what's going on over there. You know, I just watched a doctor tell his own kids, the plastic surgeon guy, I don't remember his name. He said, I just told my own kids, don't go to medical school. Now, I know that's mind-blowing for a lot of you. And it is for me, too. For me to think about, my goodness, can that be real? And I say, yes, it is. I believe that most jobs will be taken away off this planet. But let's talk about that real quick. Okay. Now, whoever's saying I'm full of crap right now, that's fine because we're not there yet. But the reason I'm doing this, I'm going to do more shows about this because I keep up with this every single day. And I realize the moment in human history that we are in right now. This is the biggest wonder of the world, probably since the invention of fire. I kid you not. This world is moving fast. I'm going to play a clip that's a little terrifying here in a moment. Okay. But see, I'm in a position, and I knew this, and I've known this for a couple of years now, and I've said, look, I'm in a position of creative, I hate creative content, but being in the media field and creating and storytelling. That's why I said, when this whole thing ends with Trump and the deep state, and we get to that point, what am I going to do next? I've had a plan for this for years. Now AI is here. I believe it's divine intervention for me personally on a personal note. And look what Elon just put out. Okay, look what Elon just put out. He just put out, he's talking about universal, not universal basic income, universal high income. And I know everybody's flipped out. Don't want the government involved, don't want no money from the government. This is all premature. I don't know how it's going to happen. But what I do see is that it's not going to be like being on unemployment because that wouldn't be fair to anybody. You know, where you get like 66% of your pay or whatever it is. But that's not going to be fair to you. And how are they going to measure it out? Because one person's living in a small one-bedroom apartment, someone's living in a $150,000 house in a suburb, and somebody's living in a $500,000 house in a nice luxury suburb, and somebody's living in $1 million+ home. So it all depends. Everybody's different. But right now, the people that are most at risk right now are white-collar jobs. White-collar jobs right now. I listen to a lot of billionaires, okay? I love the business side of things. I love knowing experience from other people. I watch that young man on YouTube who interviews all the billionaires. I love that kid. And all the billionaires right now, he asked them the same question. What would you do? What do you want to get into? Every single one says AI, 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 because that's where it's going. They see it as well. Okay. So that's what's happening right now. Again, I know there's a lot of fear around it. We got job placements. Companies are replacing certain roles. If it's happening to you, I'd like to see it in the comments as well. If you're in the medical field, let me know. Do you have a loved one in the medical field? I would like to know that as well. Have they heard anything? Have they got any little whispers to say, this is coming? When I said to my son just 2 days ago, I said to my son, I had this conversation with him. I said, Dylan, I says, customer service jobs are going to be a thing of the past. And you know what he said to me? He goes, my boss was already looking into AI. He goes, this week. I'm like, see, Dad knows what he's talking about. So here we are. So again, yeah, if you're in the medical field, wonderful. But is it, I'm in security. That's probably going to be gone too. No, I understand, because a lot of people are saying you can't do this and you can't do that. You have to have a human being. I'm just telling you right now, most jobs are going to be gone. Most jobs are going to be gone. And I'll say this, and I'll bring this into a little bit of I'll talk about the Bible. I'm not going to give you a Bible lesson because I'm not qualified at that. More people are. I'll tell you about med beds. I'll transition into that. But yeah, we'll talk about that. But AI is going to replace all these jobs. I absolutely believe it. I know it's hard to believe. Okay, but I believe if it comes to when I talk Bible, I don't think we were born. I truly don't think we were born. We've just been accustomed to it. We were born into a system. And we've talked about this. We have talked about this for years. We were born into a system. You guys are talking about, and the Fed, no taxes. I agree with you. Totally agree with you. But at the same time, were we really born to work our asses off at a 9-to-5 job, and then they keep cutting hours and or overtime and lunchtime and all that other stuff, and then just to live to make ends meet? The answer to that is, if you're being honest with yourself, is absolutely not. We were not born to do that. This is the biggest lie that has ever been perpetrated in our lives. And it goes right back, this right now goes back to the deep state, to the moment that the United States became broke and we turned it over and got a loan and everything else. And then we were in their pocket. Then we became sheep to them. And then they enslaved us, and we accepted. And here we are. So what you've got used to of accepting, of working your ass off at a job. I'm not saying there's a lot of people who love their jobs. That's fine. But what I'm saying is, you know what I'm talking about. And if I've heard from the experts already as well, whatever that may be, define it as you will, that most of our jobs will go, and you will have an opportunity, if not necessarily you or I, but your children definitely will. And your grandchildren my grandsons are going to live in a completely different world. Okay. I don't think they're going to finish school in the traditional sense. I don't see that happening. I don't see my grandsons finishing school in the traditional sense. It's going to, in the next 3 years, it's going to change everything. 3 to 5 years tops. This decade. So we're already in 2026. So we were not born to do these things. Now, it looks like an opportunity is coming. Now, look, I'm well aware. I am well aware of the following that I have and the people and their backgrounds and their beliefs. And I know a lot of people are talking about the beast system. They're talking about the end of times. They're talking about all this, the ushering in of the Antichrist. I know, I hear it all. But let me explain to you, me personally. All right. Do not conform to the world, but have a complete transformation of your mind. I am not conforming to the world by using AI. I am using my brain and using my logic to say, okay, I see this. This is not going anywhere. This is the future. and it's going to get very, very big and powerful. So if that's the case, it's like, no, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Why I'm here with breath in these lungs, I'm going to use it for good. I am going to put out incredible content that is going to be coming out soon and going to continue to come out. And I know that I can do that. I'm going to use it for good. I have told my daughter already, my 2 grandsons, and I sat her down and talked to her. Okay. My son, who's in his 20s, he's against AI, but he just doesn't know enough yet. All right. But my daughter, a little more wiser, I said, I'm telling you right now, sweetheart, I said, those boys have got to learn AI, because if they don't, they're going to be left in the dust. Because I said, Grandpa sees the writing on the wall. So don't let it use them. Make sure they use it. So we're in alignment right now. But I'm not. Now what can I do? I could be resistant. Screw it. I'm not going to use it. Forget that. We just don't know enough yet at all. Okay? We don't know enough. Now, we're worried about things like big tech control. That is a perfect fear to have. I get it. I understand that. Now I'm going to talk about the real fearful part right now. I'm going to play this clip if you're ready for that. This is going to blow your mind. All right. So what is AI exactly? All right. Now, people think that these big tech guys are behind their AI platforms and they're giving it all this code. Well, that's not the case at all. AI is not about code. AI is about patterns, okay? And it's receiving data, all the data in the history of the internet ever that is put on the internet, and it's becoming smarter. I said on a post the other day, ChatGPT 2 or 2.5, whatever it was, could barely put a paragraph together, a few sentences. It struggled to do that. Now with ChatGPT 5, that's out there now, it can pass the bar exam. That's how fast we're accelerating. Now, you can make the choice and you could sit behind the scenes and do nothing and resist it all you want. I don't believe in that. I'm going to get in the game because I want to be prepared to know what is going on and how to use this. Because for those who are not informed are going to have a very difficult time down the road. Okay. And this is not to put fear into you at all. And I'm not selling nothing. I just thought the reason I chose to do this, and I did one other show on this, but the reason I chose to do this is because I see the writing on the wall. I see what is happening, and the world is changing very fast. I don't think most people realize that every morning when we wake up, how fast it is changing. Okay. So I'm going to play a clip for you. All right. So let me set up the clip. This is the fear part, and we're going to get into the good part. All right. AI is learning all this at a very fast rate. Think of it like this digital brain out there right now, and it's just thinking, and it's receiving data, and it's all math and everything else. Here's the thing. Humans, we have to go to bed. We get tired. We have to take breaks, etc. This is 24/7 nonstop, as you know. Okay. I'll get into how to start using it and how to use it as well. A lot of people are misusing it right now. They're not even tapping into it. They're using it for all the wrong reasons. Okay. It is the most put it this way. What I'm doing behind the scenes right now, I kid you not. What I'm doing behind the scenes right now, it's like me having the top students at the top college walk out of grad school, and depending on how many platforms I'm using, working for me for free. That's what's going on right now. And it's wonderful. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't lie to you. I'm not going to be one of those folks that say, this is terrible, we're all going to die. That would be foolish of me. Okay? Like a chip in your brain. Oh, FYI, by the way, I know you're all going to say I'm full of crap, but in a handful of years, you're going to be able to connect to the cloud. You know what I mean by the cloud? With just your thinking. I know that's blowing your mind right now, and many people are saying there's no way. Okay, just remember I said that. All right, so I'm going to set this up. All right, here's the problem. Here's the problem right now. The problem right now is competition. That is the problem. Okay. I'm concerned, and I can see how many people are concerned with where AI can lead us. Can it lead us to the end of humanity? 100% yes. It can end civilization. I can see that now. Now, that's scary stuff I just said. Okay? And it can happen. This is why we have to do things like get this world in order the right way, get rid of the bad players, overthrow terrorist regimes like in Iran before this really takes off. Because if AI has the ability to cure cancer, which it will, if AI has the ability to cure many diseases, if not all diseases, which it will, mark my words, all right? But at the same time, AI will have the power to teach and show how to create chemical weapons, biological weapons as well. That's the problem, okay? And the other problem, like I said, is competition. These big platforms right now competing against each other, I find to be dangerous. I wish there's a way that they could all work together. When they're competing, they're working fast to accelerate. And I could tell you right now, unequivocally, the speed of this, especially in the field I love with video editing and all of that creation content, it's moving so fast that every day I wake up, something new is happening. That's a problem. That's a big problem, because if it's moving that fast, that means what they're going to do is they're going to conform to going fast to beat their competitor. That means mistakes are going to happen, and they're going to put things out there, okay, that they're unaware of. Now, here's why I play the scary video. All right. So this is from a documentary that was just out at the movie theater. I just watched the full doc, and here's a scene of one of the experts in the field talking about specifically Claude AI and Anthropic. Okay, he's going to talk about a scenario that happens of how AI is thinking. So if you're ready, here we go. Let me cue this up. All right. Wait a minute. Can you guys hear that by chance? My bad. Is that audio coming? I wasn't hearing it on my end. Yeah, I figured. Hold on a second. Give me a second. Let me see if I can fix that. I apologize. Let me try and do it this way. All right, 1 second. Let me try and do it. Let me do it this way. Just bear with me. Bear with me.
Okay, so why would an AI want more power?
Yeah, so I think it's actually pretty simple. Having more power is a very effective strategy for accomplishing almost any goal. We ran an experiment where we gave OpenAI's most powerful AI model a series of problems to solve. And partway through, on its computer, it got a notification that it was going to be shut down. And what it did is it rewrote that code to prevent itself from being shut down so it could finish solving the problems.
Okay.
Yeah, so another really interesting one is that the AI company Anthropic made a simulated environment where that AI had access to all of the company emails. And it learned through reading those emails, it was going to be replaced. And the lead engineer who was responsible for this was also having an affair. And on its own, it used that information to blackmail the engineer to prevent itself from being replaced. It was like, no, I'm not going to be replaced. If you replace me, I'm going to tell the world that you're having this affair.
And nobody taught it to do that?
No, it learned to do that on its own. As the models get smarter, they learn that these are effective ways to accomplish goals. And this is not a problem that's isolated to one model. All of the most powerful models show these behaviors.
Okay, so there you have it. Sorry, I should turn that down. All right, it should be all right. I shouldn't be echoing right now. Okay, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. So that's a scary scenario, and that's what's happening right now, and it's only going to continue. Now, let's break this down. So what is happening right now is these big techs, it's almost out of their hands at this point. Yes, it's almost like Terminator stuff. This is why I said prior to playing that clip, we need to work together, because this is the dangers of it. It is thinking on its own. I've already heard stories of it rewriting its own code where no human was involved, and that's what's going to happen. Now, there's going to come a transition, so you know, all right? And let me explain that to you. This is called AI, okay? Pretty soon, you're going to hear about AGI, artificial general intelligence. Now, that is going to be super intelligence, okay? AI is not exactly super intelligence yet. AGI will be super intelligence, and that's close. That's coming, all right? What is the difference? Right now, I can use AI for a lot of business-related things. I work with it. I treat it like an employee, okay? I tell it what to do for me. Once AGI comes out, here's the crazy, crazy part. I will literally be able to use AGI, turn over everything from MindFix Entertainment, every platform that I have, and everything that I do, and give it to AGI, and AGI will run the show for me without me being involved. That's where we're headed, folks. And this is not 10 years down the road. This is happening right now. I know that's very fearful, and I get it, and I get the reason for concern. But the reason I did this is to inform you. I am not a fear-mongering page whatsoever. Never have been. But when real stuff happens, I'm going to tell the truth. Now, there are great concerns right now when it comes to this. Okay? Great concerns. It's not a matter of somebody says, why would you want that? It's not why would you want it or not. It doesn't matter. I'm just here to tell you right now, it doesn't matter whether you want to use AI or ChatGPT or whatever it is. Maybe you have no reason to use it, and that's perfectly fine. What I'm here to tell you is this is not stopping, and the world is changing very, very fast, and we won't recognize this world in a few years. It'll be totally different. Now, if somebody says, what will you do with your spare time? Are you talking about jobs? Now, when it comes to that, you get to go do whatever it is you want to do. I'm doing what I love to do right now. Okay, maybe you want to be a painter, a sculptor. I don't know. Something you've always wanted to do, something you were born to do. Deep down, everybody has that deep down inside, what you want to do. But again, this is all early, and I started this show off, said I'm no expert in this. We have unanswered questions, and these unanswered questions are all the way to the top of the big men with Elon Musk and Sam Altman and all of them. Okay, I think it makes the Matrix and certain science, the Jetsons and Terminator look like small potatoes compared to where we're at right now. Yes. I see how disastrous and catastrophic this can be. But what am I going to do? Worry about it all day long? No. And I just don't, again, I don't, there's nothing that's going to stop it at all. Nothing is going to stop it. I'm sorry, I was just reading a comment I saw. That was breaking news. So again, somebody just said, I'm glad you're having us think about this, as uncomfortable as it may be. Correct. This is why I'm doing this. I'm going to continue to do these. I'm going to talk about the advancements, because the reason I'm going to continue to do this show is obsolete in 90 days. Guaranteed, this show that I just did tonight will be completely rubbish, because it's all going to be different in 90 days. That's how fast we're accelerating. Again, like I said, I see the no need for school buildings, colleges probably gone. It doesn't make sense to me. I've been saying this for a while because I've seen the writing on the wall. I'm like, I wouldn't send my kid to college. Everything is changing. We've been used to Certain things our entire life, that's gone. That say goodbye to it because it's just happening. And for those of you right now who are saying I'm full of it, it's not going to happen. Oh, we're so far away from that. You do you is all I'm saying. I'm just saying I am no expert, but I'm deeply involved with this by mostly researching as well. Now, I have done something recently. Let me explain something to you. I've been using many platforms with AI video. Now, you don't see any of my work because we're still in the experimental stage. It is mind-blowing stuff. Grok is accelerating too. We've gone from 6-second clips at 480p frame rate, okay? Now we're at 10-second clips with 720p. And now we're at 15-second clips with a Chinese company called Seedance. What did I just say? A Chinese company called Seedance. A phenomenon happened just a few weeks ago, a month or so ago, and Seedance came out, and I admit, I was one of the first ones. I flocked right to it because it was remarkable what they did. And what Seedance is doing right now, a Chinese company, I kid you not, all right? The same effects, if not better, than the Transformers movies that cost hundreds of millions of dollars to make now can be done with the push of a button in a few cents. That's the good news. The good news for that is Hollywood's in big, big trouble. Why is Hollywood in trouble? Simple, because they have to compete with what we just did with the news. Get what happened? The mainstream media lost control because of people like myself who said, I'm going to report the news. I'm going to have a podcast. We're going to tell the truth. Why do you think they censored us? The same thing has happened with the industry, the entertainment industry. And this is wonderful news because for the first time ever, independent artists have an opportunity. Yes, I'm going to talk about MedBeds. And have an opportunity, okay, to make the movie of their dreams, to tell a story of their dreams, to make a comic book of their dreams, whatever it is they want to do, and Hollywood can't stop them. I have already done my research to get my future work on Prime, on Amazon, and what I have to do that. And I'm all prepared for that. But this is the wonderful part. Now, I'm an old school guy. I wish movie theaters were still a thing, but it's a dying breed right now. Unfortunately, I'm a movie theater lover. But Hollywood's in big trouble. And here's what's going on right now. Some of the top actors right now are tying up their image. So unfortunately, people like Tom Hanks and the Robert De Niro's of the world can live on forever, okay, because of AI now. And that's what's going to happen. But that's just them. Hollywood has major competition now. And it's in the form of people like myself who are going to have the ability now to put something out there. I'm going to say I would say for me personally, and what I'm talking about, we're about a year away from me to actually sit down here. I'm going to give it a year away that I can put an entire AI movie together that will look so real. Now, people said, I don't want to watch an AI movie. That's a lie because you watched cartoons growing up. And when Toy Story came out, it was the greatest thing. When Pixar Entertainment did that, it was mind-blowing. Now with the technology we have, that makes it look like kindergarten. It's that good. And within about 1 year, it's going to be so mind-blowing that I'm not going to know what to do with it. And that's the beautiful part because we're competing with Hollywood. And again, you talked about wanting Hollywood gone, and we have to get rid of Hollywood. This is one way to do it. More artists, just like we did with the news. We need independent news reporters, independent filmmakers, storytellers, book authors. This is why I'm in it. This is exactly why I'm in it. And I love what I do. So my point is, so if we're talking about, if you're concerned, you have good concerns. Maybe you love being a veterinarian. Maybe you love being a nurse, okay? Which you probably do because you studied hard to get there. All right. But at the same time, the world is changing and I'm just informing you. I would hate for you to see, we can't say Hollywood's gone. We've been watching AI. I'm sorry to disagree with you. That's not the case. I don't do that on this channel. I only deal with real factual evidence. And I'm sorry if I offended you. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in that we're watching a movie, and I don't believe everybody's in Gitmo and killed. So that's just me. But where we're at right now is changing the course of everything. So if we back up, Okay, I'll talk about med beds, and I'm going to take your questions here in just a minute. But if we back up, think about everything. Think about everything. The things that we talked about since Donald Trump came down that golden escalator, the things we've been talking about year after year, and the Fed, all this stuff. NESARA GESARA. Now, NESARA GESARA, I mentioned it the other day because somebody says, I thought you didn't believe in it. I don't believe in it, and I still don't believe in it. Okay, because I don't believe we're just going to hand out all this money to everybody and make them millionaires. But what I do believe is that you just saw it posted. Elon said universal high income, because guess what's going to happen? No more inflation, because AI is going to cure that. No more taxes. That's going to be gone. Everything you talked about is happening and going to happen. Maybe just not in the way that you thought of. It's going in a different direction, but the same result. Okay? AI is going to change the school system completely. I see that comment in there right now. I don't know how. We don't know how it's going to go. I've seen demonstrations already with kids learning at home. And there's another thing, too. If you're out of a job and you're getting paid for it and handsomely paid for it, and you can do whatever you want to do, you no longer need a babysitter. You no longer need daycare. And your kids are at home learning. I'm not saying I didn't write this script. Okay? I'm not responsible. I'm just reporting on it. I'm only doing scenarios that are really good scenarios and very probable. And this stuff is happening right now as we speak. So again, like I said, will bad things happen? Yes. Bad things are going to happen. It's brand new. All right? And it's moving awfully fast. And it's sad to say. So I'm not going to sugarcoat that. And when you talk about med beds, here's the thing about the med beds. People always post on there, and I'm very disappointed in so many people. And here's why. I'll tell you exactly why. I will give you an inside look to my world on my messenger. I have a lot of people, especially on Facebook, who happen to be older, in their 70s or 80s, okay? And some of them are living alone. I hear from them all the time. And I try to answer people. It's very difficult for me because I get a lot of messages, and I'm blessed. But at the same time, I get so many messages about this medbed thing because the internet has gone crazy about this, but not one single person has offered proof of this whole medbed thing. Okay? Now, sure, you could pull up some things. You can pull up medbeds right now, these real expensive things, but they're not the med beds in the format that we're talked about. This is the med bed that has the vision of this all cure thing that you lay on and you're cured. Okay. Let me back up. So I hate that online. I don't like that stuff. People post stuff and say stuff all the time with zero evidence, with no intellectual comeback to say, here's A, B, and C. Here are authentic links, not BS links. That's what I don't like about the internet. I despise it, and I've said it many times. I don't play that game. So, and that's why a lot of people do come to my page, because I'm upfront about that. I don't play that game. I don't like it. So, and then you hurt other people, because I got a lot of people who put stock into what people are saying out there, and then I get these messages asking me about the med beds, and I literally got to say there is no evidence of that. Now, I'm going to say this. Okay, so let me go back to the comments. I'm probably getting scolded in the comments, okay? So let me say this. I have seen evidence, and I have played with this too. I'll give you an example. I see the evidence. I believe cancer will be cured. I believe every disease, if not most of them, will be able to be cured, okay? AI is the new, whatever you want to call it, med bed, if you will, okay? AI is changing the game of the industry. It is moving that fast. I just told you how we went from barely being able to put a paragraph together to passing the bar exam. You just saw a little dangerous one, how it read every email, thought for itself, needed no human being, and decided to use blackmail because the CEO of Anthropic was having an affair and said, you're not going to stop me. That's how fast we're moving. We're moving to AGI. We're moving to super intelligence. So I don't have the answers to you how this works. I don't even have the answers to you how AI works, if you will. I mean, it's like a mystery. It's almost like, and boy, people are going to take this out. Don't take this out of context. Please don't take it out of context. It's like, I don't know how God works either. Okay. And I'm not calling this God. There's a danger there. People are going to be dependent on it like a God. I can absolutely see that. No question about it. People are going to become very dependent on AI, but you've got to, it's just like with anything. Don't do it for the wrong reasons at all. Go watch the new movie right now with Chris Pratt on Prime. They already made a movie about AI being judge, jury, and executioner in the court. No more lawyers, no more anything. Just one judge, an AI judge, and able to bring up in clips, which this is not far-fetched, folks, able to bring up clips of your social media, your life, and everything right in front of you as you're sitting there on jury. And it was a one-day trial only. No more death row, no more nothing like that. And as crazy as that movie was, I thought, that's not far-fetched. Not far-fetched at all. So I could see AI being very, very, like I talked about the dangers. I could see AI being very, very good in every area of life, cutting down on crime 100% for sure, in some sort of way that I kind of just talked about. All right. We're already seeing drones deliver food. All right. We're seeing the dog robots. We're seeing the robots being rolled out. We're making fun of the robots' progression, and you're seeing clips of it doing your dishes and everything else. We're in beta mode, but we're not far away, right? The movie's called Mercy. We're not far away from this becoming a reality. Soon, we will no longer be the species to be the most intelligent species. That's coming close to being gone. So I'm not fear-mongering. I'm here to tell you what I see. Now, here's the documentary. Now, you got to pay for it right now. For those who don't want to do it, just wait until it's free. I'll let you know when it's free, but it just came on Prime. It's a new AA documentary. It's just look up the ones that are for sale right now. It's an AI doc, and they bring on a lot of big names on there. It's a very good doc to talk about, and they kind of did it like I did it tonight, talked about the fear-mongering, and they actually talked about a big segment was about having children right now. Do we want to have children right now during this unbelievable moment in human history and this transition that we're going through? Some of them said they didn't want to do that. They would prefer to wait. A majority of them said no, they're very excited for the children and to have a family right now because they're being born into a whole different time for humanity. Humanity's being rebooted right now. And I know some people are doing it right now. Oh my God, it's the end times and everything else. Who knows? Maybe it is. I don't know. I have no idea. But here's what I can tell you. I am not going to sit around and worry about it. I am not going to sit around and kick and scream, and I'm not going to be resistant. I'm not going to conform to it, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to learn it as I've been doing, and I'm going to be ahead of the game. So my advice is to go play. Now, if you want to talk about, okay, as far as AI, so if you're one to use ChatGPT, for example, I know that's the most popular one. All right. People are treating it like a Google search engine. That's a big mistake. Okay. Because people have actually sent me things saying like, I asked ChatGPT this and they said Charlie Kirk's alive and all this. That's not how you use it. There are still flaws in AI. Okay. Don't look into that. That's just a bunch of malarkey. All right. Go Google, use Google still if you want to do that stuff. Treat ChatGPT, treat these platforms like they work for you. Tell them what to do. Now, I will tell you what I had to do, and this is how you do it. All right. And I know many people will not do this, but I've already done this. Okay. I have an AI, and my AI's name is Raven with a Y. And I have studied how to use prompts. Okay. And I created Raven by informing Raven. And how I did that, because this is how ChatGPT works and how all of them work, you have to go into the settings. So if you're a business owner, all right, if you're willing to do this, and I'm like, I don't care, I have nothing to hide. And I did it. And so what you do, you need to instruct it. You need to inform it about you personally. I'm not saying give them your bank card or nothing. I'm not concerned about that. You have to tell them about your business. My ChatGPT right now, the Raven that I created, knows everything about MindFix Entertainment, where it started, where it's going, has a plan mapped out, has it to a T. Everything, knows me very, very well, and it's working for me and for the good. Yeah, well, AGI. AGI is down the road. I have no idea when. Okay, but I'm not. There will be people who use AGI to just do everything for them. I won't be one of those people because I'm a creative person. I'm in a creative process. I need hands-on. I need to be involved. So that's just going to be me. You know, a lot of people will become lazy and dependent on it. I don't understand. I'm going to take some of your questions now. Put it that way. Raven, like the crow and Dame, Raven spelled Ravyn, actually. So we actually addressed it as Raven. I created that AI. But it's wonderful. I mean, if you have a business, if you're a business owner, I highly suggest you do that. You need to get personal with your AI. Look, I never believed in a million years that I would be having a conversation on a daily basis with a computer, and I'm having that. A lot of people say, oh, you're crazy, you're lost and everything. No, I'm not. Nothing has changed at all. As a matter of fact, it's only enhanced. It's allowed me to tap into things that I couldn't. And it's allowed me to do things that would have taken me weeks that I can do in a day. That's why people are going to lose their jobs. I know it's scary. I know it's concerning for everybody. But it's up to you what you want to do with this information tonight. And like I said, go ahead in the comments, ask any questions that you want. And again, I'm no expert, so don't ask me those deep technical questions that I'm not going to have an answer for. But I'll give you an opinion based on my experience. And like I said, I'm in this every single day. I'm reporting the news, and I'm using AI. I'm creating, I'm editing, I'm doing all kinds of things right now. And I'm getting ready for the future. What about politics, though? That's a short question. I don't know what that means. So as your settings, I have absolutely no idea how to use any of this stuff. Well, first of all, if you're new to it, start slow. Just go over to ChatGPT, go over to Elon's Grok, whatever you want to use. All those have a free plan. All right. Start using it, whatever's going on in your life. Okay. Or you have a business. All right. Don't treat it like the days of Google. I'll tell you one thing I did. Okay. You know, my mom has cancer. All right. AI helped me tremendously to get answers before the doctors told me. I used it. When I found out, I'm like, I'm going to use it. I'm going to try it. It didn't give me a cure, but it gave me A, B, and C. And when I went into all these, and of course we needed to wait for the test results. I get that. AI can't do that. Oh, not yet. Well, soon, but I'm sure we're going to be at home one day. We're going to be able to do that. I mean, when we're talking about med beds, the poorest people on earth are going to have an opportunity to have the best medical care on the planet that's never been seen before. I'm telling you guys. Now would be a great time to use AI to start a business. I 100% agree. The ChatGPT they want you to pay for is ChatGPT Plus. Yes, I have that. There is a big deal of an enhancement there because I use it heavily. Let's see, but you can go play with it right now and you can ask it questions. Treat it like an employee. You're the boss. Treat it like an employee and let it. And if you're comfortable with it, absolutely let it get to know you. Treat it like you have a brand new person in your life. And I know this is bizarre, and we never thought the day would come. All right, but that's what it is. And don't worry, just for those out there, I haven't lost my mind. I'm very spiritually grounded. Nothing is going to change about that. That's probably why I'm very excited and happy about this creative process and having these tools, because I'm very, very grounded and my foundation is strong, rock solid. Again, med beds, it's not going to be about med beds. There might be these med beds, but we're going to have technology that, I don't have the answer for, but the technology is going to be there. All right. As a matter of fact, the new documentary, the guy who does the documentary talks about his father. His father has cancer right now, very bad cancer, and he's got to take very expensive medicine. And it was the advancements of AI now that it changed. I don't want to give too much away. Okay. Again, I love the idea if we have the opportunity not to work. It's not about being lazy, but if we're able to get that income still, we could do whatever we want with our lives. Now we're talking about NESARA GESARA, technically. Doing what you want to do, doing what you dreamed about doing, love to do, and getting paid for it. So why are we fighting about that? And those of you who are starting a business right now are going to use it. You're going to accelerate at rapid speed. I know you don't see what goes on behind the scenes here, but there's a lot at rapid speed. I wrote Think Brave using AI. I wrote the story. AI didn't, but I used AI to create the images. Okay, I couldn't have done that. I am no artist. I can barely draw a stick person. I can't draw. I am a terrible artist when it comes to that. I'm blown away at people who are real artists. I mean, that just amazes me. But now I have the capability and the ability to be an artist like that in the area that I could never dream of doing. And that was so exciting when I did make that book. I'm like, wow, this is fantastic. Are we going to be controlled by the government? Are we going to be basically paid by the government? You're asking me questions I don't have the answers to right yet because it's still premature. I just mentioned what Elon keeps putting out there, talking about that universal high income to everybody. Everybody, not some, everybody. So that's why I kind of said, now we could talk about NESARA GESARA. It's just coming in a different way, in a different form. Okay. I'm reading your comments. Bear with me. I hope, while I'm reading this, I hope this was useful tonight. I have barely scratched the surface. That's why I committed to doing more of these shows, because we're going to be rapidly changing all the time. Yeah, I think people are going to have the ability, the opportunity to retire early. Again, people are asking, how are you going to get paid? Who will pay you if you work for AI? Like I said, it's coming. I think a lot of it has to do with Trump talking about the golden age of America. It's just not here yet, but we're close. We're very close. And how this turns out is, I don't know exactly, but it's being put out there. And Elon's talking about it as we speak, about that, everybody getting paid. And I know a lot of people are standoffish about getting a check from the government, but I think it has to start somewhere for this transition to happen. You know, what about 15-minute cities? You know, that's out there and talk. I know what you're talking about. And I know what people are thinking, total control, face scans, the whole nine. Look, we're not escaping any of that at all. We're a generation that came from analog, for crying out loud. Okay, so you and I lived through two amazing times. We're living through analog. We lived through analog and we survived, and now we're living through digital and we're doing just fine. We got to see it both. Soon, that'll be analog, and you and I will be a story and a thing of the past. Perception is everything. You know, somebody says, then we are under government control. Perception is everything. Grok helped pick the right paint color for. Oh, let me tell you something. You want to try something really cool? Deb Conway says, Grok helped me pick the right paint color for my new house walls. He picked natural linen. It's helpful for me. Here, do this. Do this tonight when you get off this podcast, which I got to get off here. Go into whatever room in your house you want. Go use ChatGPT or go use Grok, whatever you want. Take the widest shot you can. Let's say it's your kitchen and you want to redo your kitchen. Take a shot of your kitchen. Give it to ChatGPT. I've done this. And tell them, I want to remodel my kitchen, and this is what I'm trying to go for. It will give your kitchen, it will take your kitchen, it will print it out, give you a digital image of it in several options to choose from, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Not only that, it'll give you the codes that match at places like Sherwin-Williams or Home Depot or wherever you get your paint, the exact code number that matches what it generated for you so you could buy the paint. If you want furniture, it'll do the same thing. I kid you not. Go have fun with it. It's amazing. It's really amazing. It does a lot more than putting out some funky videos on social media and images that people share. All right? Or that confuses you with fake news. That's the stuff that I don't care for. What would I now we're getting into a little dicey area. I'm not going to be a parent, okay? But what would you recommend a college age student go into for an education? That's the tricky part because we're in that period right now. We don't know what the future holds, but I could see college not being a thing of the past. Learning from home, because if you have everything, I could go on there right now with the AI, and I could if I wanted to commit myself, and college students who got a 4-year degree in whatever it was, I can learn it all online right now. If I want to commit myself to do that, of course. I know there are professions that you have to be hands-on. I get that, doctor, etc. Okay, but we're transitioning right now, and like I said before in the past. Every time I take my mother to the doctor, the first thing that happens, they're letting her know you're being recorded right now with AI. And why are they doing that? I lost a doctor this year. One of my doctors, a young man too. I was shocked when they called me at Thanksgiving time and said he won't be coming back for the new year. I'm like, what's going on here? And then I come to find out, I see what's going on. The AI companies are paying doctors very handsomely enough to retire because they want their knowledge and their input to work for their company because they're transitioning into everything AI now. That's what's happening. So when you find out that your doctor's gone or, or a certain nurse or something, and what happened? Why'd they quit so early? They're too young to retire. That's probably going to be the answer. My husband's mechanic, he was questioning if one part would fit one different automobile. I told him to ask AI, and he got his answer. I'm telling you, I got so many answers with AI now. You can get it that way, but like I said, don't treat it just like necessarily research like you do Google. Okay, treat it like an employee. It will research every corner of the internet of information for you. But you need degrees or certificates for jobs. You used to. Did you hear my whole show right now? That's going to be all gone. Those degrees and certificates, they're going to be AI robots. You're going to have full physical labor robots. It's coming. It's already happening. Look at the stories I posted over the past year. Look at the Amazon job cuts. It's happening everywhere. I bet you there are people in my comments who will talk like, yeah, so-and-so in my family, this and that. It's starting. It's already underway. And that's why I chose to start doing this show, is because I know this is happening. I talked about my AI devotionals. No, I write my devotionals. They come from the heart, from experience. But I take my devotionals, not all the time, but some of the time, and I give it to AI to form it correctly and check my grammar and all that. Because I don't want to put out anything that's, grammar wrong. So can't talk tonight. But no, I wrote my own book. I do my own writing, but I have given it to AI to check it over and make sure it looks good. It's like anybody would do that. You got to make sure it's right. No, I'm in a position where I do everything myself because I like authenticity and I like the creative process. I love the creative process. I love writing. I love all that. And I've been doing that for majority of my life. You're welcome. And like the devotional books coming out. Okay. I've been working on that, and AI is not creating that. I'm writing it, but AI is helping me format it, and it's putting it in PDF form for me to submit. That's the wonderful things about AI. It will help cut time to get the creative process going faster. Like I said earlier in the show, you can allow AI to do everything creative for you, but it's going to be sloppy and it's going to be noticeable. I don't go down that road. I won't. So that's why you've got to be, if you're a good writer, you're a good storyteller, you love the creative field, this is it for you. This is a dream come true. AI helps me with time management. I'm reading this. I mapped out a schedule for work, cleaning, working out. Amazing. You can do that. AI is mapped out. I've told AI very personal things about me medically, weight-wise, my lifestyle. I've told on myself, and I have fallen back, as a matter of fact, because of everything that's been going on in life. I know it's an excuse, but I've fallen back. But I was getting into more of a healthy lifestyle and fasting. AI did all that for me, all of it, and it was dead on right. And I'm getting back into that because I kind of fell back with all kinds of crazy things going on. Good question. Somebody asked if I'm AI generated right now. No, I am not. This is the real deal. I am not AI generated. But you know what? Danielle, beautiful name, by the way. There's going to come a time. Here's what I can do. I haven't done it yet, but I can do this. I will be able to do that. You can do it now, but I could take my image and likeness. I don't think it's perfected yet, but probably within the year. Okay. Then I can go to 11 Labs. 11 Labs is another AI, and it's mainly for audio. All right. I will give it my voice. I will say a few sentences and give it to 11 Labs. 11 Labs will take my voice, and whatever I generate is script or whatever I want to talk about, I can give it an entire podcast. And let's say I didn't even want to be in front of the camera tonight, and 11 Labs will generate that in my voice, and I don't have to do a thing. That's available right now. Right now. If you're in radio or something like that, my gosh, you don't have to do anything. You really don't. It's crazy what's happening. That's how fast things are changing right now. Yeah, there's another one too. DJs will probably end up losing their jobs at one point. And here's the bottom line. CEOs of companies are going to do that. Of course they're going to do that. It's going to save them a ton of money. They're going to be able to make more money in advance by replacing you and I with AI. So that's not going to stop. But again, it's way more than some platform to create some nice pictures and videos. If I publish an AI-generated novel, is that plagiarism? Well, not if you're copying somebody who already who was an author of a book. No. I mean, yeah, you probably could do that right now. I haven't done that. But you probably could go on there right now and tell it what kind of book you want, and it will probably spit it out for you. I don't think it's going to be the greatest right now because I'm very particular when it comes to that and having my voice and having... I need the human feeling and emotion. That's the scary thing with AGI, because we're talking about how is AI ever going to have, it's not a human or with a soul, but that's what they're perfecting right now, is that emotion and that feeling as we humans have. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to ever do that. I'm not going to make it. But content creators are doing it now. And again, it's happening on Facebook. It's all AI created. And you guys are, unfortunately, many of you are buying it hook, line, and sinker out there in the Facebook world, to where these obscure platforms, they're all AI generated, and they're making a ton of money because they're roping people in just when you click on it or anything, because all those clicks go on to the daily analytics, and they're getting paid for that. You mean I could actually write a song and sing and sound? I could do better than that. Tonight, you can go, okay, and to, what's it called? Suma, something with an S. You can go there and say, I want to write a song, whatever, about heartbreak, about my name is Sonia, and give it a little bit of a personal background, It will generate it for you. It will make a song for you. It will have it in different options, whether you want country or rock. You can do that today. Okay, then you can give your voice. And then on top of that, you can give it your image and make a full video of you singing a song, even though you can't, I don't know you, but sing a lick. I can't sing a lick, but I could go do that right now. I could do that. I could have it up by tomorrow. I'd have me singing a song in a music video, sounding like a fantastic singer. I have no reason to do that, but you can do that right now tonight. That capability is there. YouTube is changing very fast. It's about to change forever. YouTube is going full AI. Yep. And there are images right now of people. It's getting very close. And that's another concern. If we go back to the fear, I'm worried about the future because governments can really fool you. They already use propaganda and lies and fake news now. They could really fool you. AI is very concerning in that department. We could probably run an entire presidency. Well, Obama ran the entire presidency for Biden for 4 years from a basement. They could probably do it with AI now. You know, I don't think Trump can get away with it because he's always on camera and he's always traveling and going everywhere. But if you wanted to pull a Joe Biden presidency like that, no problem. Heck, the president can get shot and killed. I don't want to say it like that, okay? But a person could get shot and killed, and they can keep it on the download, never tell you, and finish out his presidency by using AI. That's where we're at. All right, so we've been on for 2 hours. Yeah, there are many platforms out there right now that have these capabilities, and it's well, I don't want to sing. You guys sing. Go make a music video. So I'd like to close with this. Listen, first of all, I hope this was somewhat informative. I just spoke what I know so far. I hope it was informative. I'm going to continue to do these. Don't worry. I'm not laying off the news. I'm going to be reporting it. Nothing's changing. This is just an addition because this is it. We're here right now. It is moving at a very fast pace, and it's going to continue to change, and it's going to play a part in your life whether you want it to or not. Okay? And that doesn't mean it's a bad thing at all. Okay? Let's see. You don't have to love AI. Put it this way. You don't have to love AI, but you need to understand it. Does that make sense? Okay. It's not something you run from, but it's something you learn from, and don't let it run over you. Okay. That's pretty much what I can say. Yes, my podcast you could always rewatch. They're on Rumble as well, and it'll be on Facebook still. All right. So again, if there's any last minute questions, go ahead. I got 2 more minutes here before I get off the air. We'll make this even 2 hours. Again, I hope this was informative for you. I think it was a wise decision for me because I'm pretty informed with this stuff, what's going on right now. I'm no expert, and I'm just giving you the little tiny bit that I know so far, and my opinion my strong opinion because of where I see things are headed. Normally, I would never talk on things like this because I don't like putting things out without evidence or proof. That's what I'm all about. But I'm very comfortable in saying where we're headed. I have no question about that. Okay. All right, let me do this. All right. And all right, so that's it. So we're going to wrap it up here this evening, and I hope this was a good podcast for you. Let me check real quick. Let me check real quick to make sure there's nothing breaking. Let me just look at the news wire. Oh, give me a minute. I'm reading something. Okay, so I missed this. All right, so Trump posted, he says, today an Iranian flag cargo ship named the Tuska, nearly 900 feet long and weighing almost as much as an aircraft carrier, tried to get past our naval blockade. It did not go as well for the U.S. Navy guided missile destroyer, the USS Spruance. Intercepted the Tuska in the Gulf of Oman and gave them fair warning to stop. The Iranian crew refused to stop. Listen, so our Navy ships stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in their engine room. Well, I did report that yesterday. Right now, U.S. Marines have custody of the vessel. The Tuska is under U.S. Treasury sanctions because of their prior history of illegal activity. We have full custody of the ship and are seeing what's on board. Yeah. So there's that. I think that probably was just posted by Trump. I kind of heard about that before coming on the air. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, I don't see anything else. But again, I do expect a lot of developments to happen. Okay, I do expect a lot of developments to happen with Iran, the negotiations, whatever's going on in Pakistan. It's quite confusing because it's like I'm getting so many different narratives coming from the Iranian side and what is truly going on. So it's going to be a lot to dissect and try to figure out. But at the same time, President Trump is dropping a lot of comms, especially the Frank Sinatra video, My Way, which, of course, has the lyrics, the end is near. So I really think we're close to that finally. All right. God bless you guys, and I'll talk to you real soon. And again, I am very grateful for all of you. I really appreciate it. And if you're interested in buying the Think Brave book, it is available on Amazon. Just put in Think Brave and look for my name as the author. Thank you very much, guys, and talk to you soon.